Hello everyone. This presentation brings to you in detail about Penaeus respiratory system. Penaeus indicus, that is common marine prawn. The respiratory surfaces being gills, the vascular lining of branchiostegides, and epipodites. So as mentioned, they have three respiratory structures or three structures that help in respiration. They are the gills, the vascular lining of branchiostegide and epipodite. And among these, the dendrobranchiate gills are the most important or the principal respiratory organ. Okay, so where they are located? All these structures are found in branchial chamber. Okay, it is found in the branchial chamber. And now where is the branchial chamber? So I hope you remember this. When you take a section, a cross section of the body of Penaeus, this is how it looks like. Any segment, if we take a section or along any segment, you can see that this is a segment. Okay, and over this they have a cuticular covering, right? And this is a cuticular covering, and laterally you can see it extends beyond the surface, right? Every segment do have a pair of appendages on the ventral side, and along the lateral sides you can see the uh, cuticular covering, that is a carapace. It extends downward. The carapace, we are speaking about the cephalothoracic region. Okay, so the carapace, it extends downward, right? And this region, the region between this extended lateral portion and the appendage, okay, and this part is known as the branchial chamber. I hope you got it. Okay, so this is actually the darker portion. It represents the carapace. The carapace, it extends downward, further downward the body part. Okay, and this lateral extension is what is known as the branchiostegide. Okay, so the region which is occupied or which is found between the appendage and the branchiostegide on its side, this is what is known as the branchial chamber or the gill chamber. And it is in this gill chamber you can find all these structures which helps in respiration. Okay, whether it is gills, the vascular lining of branchiostegide. What does it mean? It is the inner lining of the branchiostegide. It is very thin and it is being supplied with a large number of what you call blood vessels, branches of blood vessels, and that is what that acts as a respiratory surface. Another is epipodites or masticobranchi. So these are the three structures which help in respiration, that is acting as respiratory surfaces. We will look into each of these in detail. The first one, since it is the gills, they are important ones. We will be looking in detail in the next slide. The first one we will look is the branchiostegide. As already mentioned, branchiostegide, it is the lateral extension of the carapace, lateral extension of the carapace on either side, that is the hanging down portion of the carapace, and that portion is known as the branchiostegide. The inner lining of the branchiostegide, it is very thin and it is richly supplied with blood vessels, okay, and hence it works like it acts as a very effective, efficient respiratory surface, right? Water passes through this region, okay, through the branchial chamber, and hence what happens is the vascular tissue or the inner lining of the highly vascular branchiostegide, it comes in contact with the uh, it comes in contact with the water. Okay, so every time fresh water comes in, it brings in more oxygen. So carbon dioxide from the blood, from the what you call the vessels, it passes out into the this one water. In turn, it takes it oxygen. Okay, so this is how it works. The next respiratory structure, it is the epipodite. Epipodite was already mentioned when we discussed about the appendages, but here we can see once again epipodite. Epipodite are structures which are found attached to the coxa of the thoracic appendages, and there are 6 pairs of appendages, and hence 6 pairs of epipodites can be seen. In the first pair of thoracic appendage, the epipodite is conical in nature, and here this figure shows the structure of epipodite which are found in the rest of the 5 pairs of thoracic appendages. It is Y-shaped. Okay, it is again very thin and what you call supplied with vessels, and these membranous outgrowths, they help in the respiration. Okay, so inner lining of the brachiostegoid as well as the epipodoid. Coming to the gills, okay, as already mentioned, gills are the most important respiratory organs in the Penaeus. Okay, and they are known as dendrobranchiate. Dendrobranchiate, the name has come because it is branched. Okay, that is why dendro, it is branching, it is something related with, isn't it, dendrochronology. You may have heard this term associated with trees, is right. So here it is branching gills. Okay, so gills are highly vascular in nature. They are feathery outgrowths from the thoracic appendages. You can see all these are associated with the thoracic appendages. So all these are actually outgrowths from the thoracic appendage. Okay, here you can see how the first gill, from the first gill, we have, it goes to the 8th gill. Okay, so almost like you can see here, yeah, so total of 18 sorry well, yeah 18 gills on each side. So 18 pairs of gills can be found in the case of Penaeus indicus. Okay, how are they arranged? They are actually, as already mentioned, it is large. These represents the gills. Okay, so these represents the gills, and these gills are found in the branchial chamber, being completely sheltered within the branchial chamber, which is covered by the brachiostegoid on its side. Okay, so it is present in the branchial chamber between the brachiostegoid and the thoracic wall or the appendage on its side. And each gill, if you take, it is crescentic shaped. Crescentic means it is half moon shaped. Okay, and it has a central axis. Each of the gill has a central axis, and this central axis is what is known as the gill axis, or it is otherwise known as the gill stem. Okay, and it is on this axis we can find numerous thin, very much flattened, bilaterally arranged plates. Okay, here you can see these are the structures. So they have a central axis or the central stem. It is known as the gill axis, and on either side of the gill axis you can find highly flattened, what you call gill lamellae. Okay, these gill lamellae, they are bilaterally arranged plate-like structures. Gill lamellae we call. So this is a gill, and these smaller structures are known as a gill lamellae. Okay, so gill axis and gill lamellae, they are covered with a very thin layer of chitin, and they are richly supplied with blood vessels, and hence they form a very good respiratory structure, respiratory surface. Now, when we look into this gill lamella, each of the gill lamella, it is further divided and subdivided into very fine gill filaments. Okay, and this kind of highly branched what you call gill structure is what is referred as a dendrobranchiate gills. Okay, so this is what is referred as the dendrobranchiate gills. Fine. So as already mentioned, here you can see the figure is a cross section of a single gill, right? So this part is the gill axis, and on either side of the gill axis we have the gill lamella, right? And each of the gill lamella, it is further divided and subdivided. You can see here it is branched and rebranched into gill filaments. Okay, so you can see it is a highly branched structure, and this kind of a structure, it gives the name dendrobranchiate type of gills, and it is typical of the Penaeus. And you can see here the gill axis as well as the gill lamella, it is provided with blood channels, so it is highly vascularized. Fine. So this is the dendrobranchiate gill, the structure of dendrobranchiate gills. Now, there are different types of gills based upon where it is attached. We have already seen that these gills are placed in the gill chamber or the branchial chamber, but the gills are attached to the body by way, at various positions, right? It could be attached to maybe like as in this case, that is a podobranch, it could be attached to the coxa. You can see here, that's a typical figure here. Okay, so this is the coxa, this is the appendage. Okay, so this is the branchial chamber, this is the coxa. Okay, so if it may be found attached, the gill may be found attached to the coxa. Here you can see, right? And this kind of a what you call gill, it is known as a podobranch, right? Podus means foot, and obviously branchus means, or branchia means, it is referring to gills. Okay, so podobranch is a type of dendrobranchid gill which is found attached to the coxa. Now then next we have is the arthrobranch. You can see here, these arthrobranch, it is found attached to arthrodial membrane. Okay, arthrodial membrane, it is actually found at the junction between the thoracic wall, this wall, okay, and the appendage. Okay, so between the thoracic wall and the appendage, you can find an arthrodial membrane, and it is to this arthrodial membrane the arthrobranch type of gills are attached to. Right, now the next one we have is the pleurobranch. The pleurobranch, it is pleura means sides or covering, etc. Pleurobranch, it is found attached to the inner wall of the branchial chamber. You can see this is the branchial chamber and it is attached to the inner wall. So based upon where the gill is attached to the attached in the branchial chamber, we have three kinds of gills: podobranch, which is attached with the coxa of the appendage, arthrobranch with the arthrodial membrane, pleurobranch with the lateral wall of the thorax inside the branchial chamber. And these numbers, actually they are the number of these kinds of gills present in Penaeus. Penaeus have a single podobranch. It is the first gill of the Penaeus. It is the podobranch type. Okay, and then we have 11 types of arthrobranch, and then we have the 6 pleurobranch. So where they are located, we can find. So this is actually a table which shows the arrangement of these different kinds of gills along the branchial what you call chamber along the sides of the thoracic region. Okay, okay, so we have, as already mentioned, there is only a single pair of podobranch, and it is found attached to the second maxillipid. Okay, these are the thoracic segments. We have 8 pairs of what you call thoracic segments: the first maxillipid, the second maxillipid, and the third maxillipid. And then the next 5, they are the walking legs. Oh, sorry, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the walking legs, right? So the second maxillipid bears a gill on its coxa, attached to its coxa. So that is the only podobranch in the case of Penaeus indicus. Fine. Then there are 11 pairs of, you can see the total 11 pairs of arthrobranch type of gills, and these arthrobranchs, they are found attached to you can see here second and third maxillipids, and the first 4 what you call walking legs. Okay, and here on the second and the third maxillipid plus the first 3 walking legs do have 2 pairs each, while the what you call the this one, the fourth pair of walking leg do have only a single one. Okay, so altogether they have 11 pairs of arthrobranchs. Okay, then the pleurobranch type, there are 6 pairs in number, and these are attached, as we have already mentioned, it is attached to the lateral walls of the thorax inside the branchial chamber, isn't it? And these are found 1 each on the third maxillipid and all the 5 walking legs, making it up to 6 pairs of pleurobranchs. So altogether we have the Penaeus do have 18 gills found along the thoracic segments. Okay, so this is the branchial formula. Now epipodites, since it is also found attached to the appendages, that is also being included in the branchial formula. Epipodites, they are found 1 each in the first, second and third maxillipids and in the first 3 walking legs, making it to 6 pairs of epipodites. Okay, 1 each on the appendage. Okay, so altogether they have 18 gills, 18 pairs of gills plus 6 pairs of epipodites. Together they have 24 pairs of respiratory structures associated with the appendages directly. So this is about the respiratory system. Okay,